What is going on, guys? Poketism here, back with another market update video. If you like the content, consider dropping a like, maybe even the comment saying SpaghettiOs, and to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And for our based and beta comments of the day, our base comment goes to Quality Content, who says, Ends PP Up is a $100 card. Couldn't agree more. Who doesn't love an Ends PP Up? Thank you for that base comment. And for our beta comment of the day, also from Quality Content, says, honestly, Shuckle is slept on. No, 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 no. Thumbs down for Shuckle card. All jokes aside, thanks for the comments, Quality Content. And make sure you leave your guys' based and beta comments down below. So today's topic, I kind of want to do some comparisons between 151 and Prismatic Evolutions and kind of make some predictions on where these sets may go in the future. So one thing that I think that is important to start off with here is 151's total set value is about $2,300. So we have cooled off from our recent February run-up. And I remember in one of my previous videos that I said that this cool-off was going to happen and that we'll probably see the Charizard get down to around $400 a card, which was just purely speculation. And we definitely are touching back down at those levels. We're going to do a little bit of a deep dive here. So, you know, a lot of these cards have cooled off quite a bit from their highs, which was expected, but surprisingly, they have been holding their gains up pretty well. I was expecting a just as sharp correction for these cards to be trending down quite aggressively, but we have kind of consolidated and are finding our new price floor up around these prices. So let's take a look here at the Charizard. So we got up to sales as much as $683. So somebody paid quite a bit. $699. 460, 500, and then this has just started to cool off here. Let's take a look at most recent sales. We have $404. It looks like one sold for $519. That's kind of crazy. 403, 404, 404. So we got up to the top of around $500 to $600 a card. Now we're cooling off and getting some sales around $400. So I noticed that there was a pretty large volume of purchases back here. So about 32 of them sold between the price range of $305 and $548. So that's quite a large spread. So we're somewhere in the middle, probably around the $400 mark. So I think that 151 altogether was a bit undervalued in general, and I think that the market has now decided that $400 is a fair price for this card, which is why we have this big volume spike increase here. So let's take a look at how the Blastoise is performing. Same sort of deal here. We peaked up, getting sales at $200, $280, and now we are finding a new price floor. So this is pretty typical for chase cards, especially when things are rotating out. We get a big run up and then we have to find a new price floor where we can kind of settle at right now. So we look at most recent sales, going for about $200 a card. There are some sales at $160, $189, $161. So, and we do have quite a bit of volume here even after the run up. So, you know, it seems around $200, the market feels that this is a decent card. And one thing that I find very interesting about 151 is that the total set value is $2,300, which I still think is undervalued, especially for how much the sealed is going for now. So I have no doubt over time these will slowly creep up in price, but it's nice to see a healthy correction from these insane runs that we had. And it seems that the community has taken their focus off of 151 as the volume starts to slowly decrease here. But we'll see where these prices settle over the next couple of months. And then a Venusaur here, same sort of deal. We were about a $71 card, shot up pretty much 2x, a little over 2x, got sales up to around $200 a card. And then now we've been cooling off, and a big volume spike of purchases here between the $127 and $163 range. So it seems that the market feels that that's a fair entry. We have sales at most recent at $130. We also have 157, 156, 155, 155. So looks like we may have found our new floor where we'll be consolidating for a bit for this Venusaur card. So we'll keep an eye on it, and we'll check back up on these singles here in the coming weeks. Now, the sealed has kind of surprised me a bit. So the sealed Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box was down at around $800 a box, and it almost 2x'd. It was just shy. I did see sales for this on eBay at $1,500, so $1,600 would have been roughly a 2x. And I was expecting this to crash down to maybe $1,000 or so, but we got to about that $1,500 mark, and then we only dropped quite a little bit. Nothing too aggressive. This is a pretty expensive item, so we're not going to see a ton of volume on it. If we take a look at the last purchase, it was on here back on the 28th. I did see some recent purchases on eBay for about $1,200. So this one's slowly creeping down. There have been some sales here around the $14 mark, but this is technically older data. So with the sales that I saw on eBay, we're probably looking closer to a $1,300 box, which all things considered, $800, how long ago was it? 3 months ago. And then 3 months later, pretty much doubling it, even cooling off a little bit, and it holding up its gains is quite nice to see. There was quite a big volume spike here of purchases back at the end of February for about $1,000. Even those people are still doing okay, looking at roughly about a $1,300 box. Now, the Ultra Premium Collection, same sort of story here. A lot of people did buy into this run-up here. And then after we passed the psychological barrier of $1,000, we have been cooling off here and getting sales, about $50 less than $1,000. And, no significant fall back down. It seems that the prices are going to be staying around the $1,000 mark here as time goes on. So I have seen sales at $900. I have seen some at like $890. So we'll just have to see. This is a type of item where we're not going to have a lot of volume. But I hate to beat a dead horse here, but all of the 151 singles and sealed product have blown away my expectations. I was expecting quite a bit more of an aggressive correction, but it seems that the market now views these products as fair value based off of their age. And same with the 151 bundles. We peaked up with sales at around $190 to $200, and we're holding our ground here, anywhere from $170 to $190. We look at most recent sales, $185, $177, $180, $185, $177. About a year ago, these were what, like $60? Yeah, $65. So almost a 200% gain. Just absolutely insanity. Now, the reason why I talk about this, let's go back here. We see the set value is 2,300, right? And now I want to hop over here to Prismatic. So Prismatic, also like 151, has, it's going to be rotating out soon. So 151 is going to be rotating out in April, and Prismatic Evolutions is going to be rotating out a year from now. And if we looked back at the 151 booster bundles here a year ago, they're about $63, right? And this was a product that was being pumped into the market. So keep that in mind as we start going through Prismatic here. Set value almost $5,000. And obviously filled with a lot of popular evolutions, and we still have plenty of time to be snagging up this product. We have another year of printing of this product, so I'm going to continue to preach that this is this set is a great buy, because I have no doubt that we're going to see a similar trend that we've seen with 151. So booster bundles here have been going a bit crazy. So let's take a look here at the 1 year. We did get lows down to $60, and we've been kind of between the $60 and $70 range here. You could argue that Prismatic Evolutions is a little bit ahead of where 151 was at this time during its print cycle. And we are now at $80 a booster bundle. So we have 18 confirmed sales at $80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 79.93, and we can round that up to a nice clean $80. But it does blow my mind that this set is already starting to pick up quite a bit. I think as soon as these products hit the Target shelves, or hit the secondary market from the scalpers, they just get eaten up very quickly. There was not a very big opportunity here during the massive Target restock to really kind of sit between that $60 and $70 range and pick up as many booster bundles as you could. There was a very short window where you could have got them between that price range. And now the question is how many more of these are going to be entering the market, and how many more opportunities are we going to be able to get this for $70 or $60 again? Only time will tell. We'll have to see. Now, I did want to take a look at the Umbreon again. So Umbreon, about a year ago, this was a $1,500 card, basically on release. We dropped all the way down to $900 a card. Had another rally up to $1,200, dropped all the way back down. It seems that just below or just above $800 is a strong support area. We've tested it twice, and now we are back up to a resistance level here for sales around $1,500. Let's take a look. So we got $1,511, $1,509, $1,511, $1,510, $1,499. So this card is back up to its all-time highs, and we only have 1 year left in its print cycle. So are we going to just get the crud printed out of Prismatic and this will go back and retest these levels again? Who knows? Or are we going to go into uncharted territory here and see where this card will go? Now, Sylveon here, I really like this card. I think it's very cute. It's very beautiful. But unlike the Umbreon here, this on release was about a $600 card. Then we dropped down to about $300 a card, and then we've been just kind of sideways chopping here for a bit with a slow little uptick of volume and price here over the past month or so. Let's take a look on the 1 month chart. So up 13% on the month, not bad at all. We have sales breaking the $400 mark here. So this was about $300 a couple weeks ago, and it's slowly churning its way up. $395, $391, $390, $390. So I do believe that there's a lot of potential in the rest of the evolutions here. If you can find yourself a clean copy, I do think that these prices are pretty fair for where they're at and for where we are at currently in the print cycle. And same sort of deal here with the Leafeon EX. We, on release, were about a $500 card. Then we dropped down here, and we've been just doing some sideways shenanigans for quite some time now. And the sales volume and price are starting to slowly pick up. Looking at about a $250 to $270 card. Definitely one of the cooler evolutions, in my opinion. Definitely one of the top 3 most valuable as well. So the moral of this video here is not only are we in the same position that 151 was in about a year ago, but our overall set value is higher, which means there is some potential for it to continue to grow. It all depends on the demand, but we'll just have to see if Prismatic Evolutions here follows that same sort of trend that 151 is following. And if it does, then we can expect those Prismatic booster bundles to get up to close to $200 a booster bundle, even before it rotates out towards the end of its print cycle. So let's, enjoy the ride, enjoy the ups, enjoy the downs, and we'll check up on this product sporadically as time goes on. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you leave your based and beta comments below, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.